Welcome to another edition of our journey to financial freedom. I am Sheila Wilkinson-Sanders. Today we are going to continue on our conversation discussing our work. In our last edition, we talked about determining what your worth is. And many of you were disturbed when you determined what your worth number was. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to increase your worth. And we will, over the next few videos, talk about ways to increase your worth. But today we're going to talk about, for those who are employed with an employer, who are an employee, things that you can do to increase your worth. And people always want to compare themselves to their peers at their jobs. But that may not be the best trigger or measure of your worth. So, we talked about Google being your friend and doing your research and knowing your numbers. So I want you to spend some time Googling, doing research, asking people about your profession specifically, and try to be as close to what it is that you do as possible to determine what your worth is compared to the industry. Determine what the low number is, determine what the median number is, and what the high number is. And then I want you to look very closely at the description of that particular profession and determine where you fall in that profession. Now, if you feel that you are being underpaid, then I want you to start to list the tasks that you perform, list ways that you believe you are benefiting your company, list things that you are doing over and above what your job description is, list things that you're doing over and above what people in your industry are doing. List the things that you've done. List at least 10 things that you did in 2015 to benefit your company. And then I want you to talk to your peers about what they think about you. There's ways that you can ask that question or get that out of them without them thinking that there's some ulterior motive, even if there is some ulterior motive. And then I want you to have a discussion with your manager, with your boss. Just have a sit-down discussion, maybe during your next weekly meeting or quarterly meeting or monthly meeting, but do it sometime very, very soon. Pull out your last employee review, look at things that were positives, look at the things that were negatives or things that you needed to improve upon, and determine if you did improve on those things. If you did not improve on those things, then you know what your work is that you have to do over the next period of time to improve on those things, so that you're able to show that you are that ideal employee. And then when you have that discussion with your manager, ask him specifically what he thinks about you and what you are contributing to the company. Not within mind of asking for a promotion or a raise or anything. Right now, it's just a dialogue. It's going to take a couple of times if you really want to maximize your work. Make notes of all the things that he or she thinks are ways that you benefit the company. Make notes of the things that he thinks or she thinks you need to improve upon. And then add all of that to your list. Once you've gathered all your facts, excuse me, I want you to put into some sort of form that you can give to your boss, a list of your accomplishments, a list of ways that you have benefited the company. Get letters or personal notes from clients. Be sure you get their permission of compliments, of things that you have done for clients where they say that you've done a great job. You want to be able to paint a picture for why you are worth whatever that number is that you're going to have in your head, that number. And then you want to schedule some time with your boss. And when you schedule that time with the boss, you want to just put out there that you think you need a raise. And let them do the talking. And just be prepared in case they say no, to be able to present arguments for why they should change that no to a yes. That no may be not necessarily because they don't think you're worth more. They may say it's because it's a bad time at the company. So one of the other things you want to do when you do your homework is to find out the state of your company right now. Are they in a good financial position? And if you've done your research and they are, and your boss says that they're not, then you want to ask, well, what specifically is going on with the company right now that you can't give me a raise? Right? So you want to have a plan B. You want to have an argument or a rebuttal, if you will, because you don't want to be combative in any way. So you want to have discussion points for whatever you anticipate could be a roadblock that will stop you or slow down you getting that raise right now. Now, you want to be able to have some negotiating room in there. So let's say that you think that you're worth 10% more than what you are getting right now. Then you want to ask for 15%. So that your boss feels like they're still winning, if that makes any sense. But start with not asking for any money at all and seeing where your boss is so you know where you can negotiate, where there can be some push and pull. Now, it may really be a situation where you can't get more money right now, or you may be able to get half of the money that you would like to get. Have that plan B and plan C of other things that you can do in order to increase your worth. So it may be an extra week of vacation, right? So that could be your 5%. It could be stock in the company. You know, employers love that when their employees take an interest in the company. And so by having company stock, you now are a owner in the company. So, you know, it's really easy for companies to give up stock. You know, that's something that can be a benefit all the way around. So think about, determine, do your research and find out what the stock price is of the company, and then determine, divide that stock price per share into the dollar amount that you want to get a raise on, and that's how many shares you want. And so again, ask for the maximum amount and then take what they give you. What's nice about having that stock, in addition to being an ownership, is that now you're an investor if you don't already invest. So you have a free way to start to learn how to monitor the stock market, understand why the stock price changes. You'll get quarterly or semi-annual or annual dividends. I still have stock in the company, the last corporation that I worked for, and I still get quarterly dividends every quarter because the stock, and it's been over 20 years now, still does very well. And so I love getting my little quarterly dividend checks from them. So this will be a plus for you. Even if you get the raise, ask for the company stock. There are other perks that you can ask for. You can ask for a promotion without a raise. I had an employee do that for me once. She had asked for a raise, and we said we couldn't do it at the time. So she asked for a title. And that title looked great on her resume. So that when she went to her next job, she then had that title on her resume, which then put her in a different category when she went to apply for that job. for you, even if you're not quitting that job, having that title, now when it comes time for raises next year, you now have some leverage because now you have a title that you didn't have before. So there's little things that you can do. Maybe it is having a shorter work day. Maybe it's getting some additional training, free training. You know, training can be very, very expensive. So it may be sending you to some place that you've never been before, where the company pays for it and pays to educate you. It may be for some certificate that makes you more worthy as an employee. So there's lots of things that you can do to increase your worth as a person. I hope this has been helpful. In our next video, we're going to talk about ways to increase your worth as a self-employed individual. But I know that the mass majority are employed individuals, and so I wanted to spend some time on that. And so when we talk about it in our next video for those who are self-employed, we're also going to start to talk about having multiple streams of income. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope you are staying faithful and focused and committed. I'm Sheila Wilkinson-Sanders, and I hope you are having an absolutely awesome day.